Hello, everyone, and good Sunday evening to you. I want to welcome you to the Get Fit and Be Lean live stream on multiple platforms as we talk this week about sleep and weight loss. I'm Dr. Frank Cadle, and on January 1st of 2021, I began the Get Fit and Be Lean program that I used to lose over 20% of my body weight. I started with three simple calisthenic exercises and a portion controlled diet that was focused on two servings of raw or steamed vegetables at lunch and two servings at dinner. And I lost more than 5 inches off my waist. I lost probably 20 points from my cholesterol level. I dropped my systolic blood pressure by 20 millimeters of mercury. I dropped my resting heart rate by more than 30 beats a minute. And more importantly, I did all of this without any medicines, without any surgery and its attendant risks. I did this, in fact, and was able to get off of medication that I was taking for reflux heartburn. I quit snoring, started sleeping better through the night. And since then, I've been trying to carry this message on several different platforms. I initially started on TikTok, but I've migrated now to YouTube and Instagram. And I've also really worked hard on getting my research articles posted to my Twitter feed. So if you go to my Twitter account, you'll see the articles that I'm going to talk about this week on my live stream with articles about sleep and weight loss. Some really fascinating stuff. I got particularly interested in this last month on April 1st in the Journal of the American Medical Association. There was an article that looked solely at treating people with sleep adaptive mechanisms to allow them to have longer and sounder and better sleep. And when they did this, although they were focusing mainly on sleep, they also looked at how that affected their caloric intake and output. And what they found is that people who slept adequately after gaining an hour, hour and a half of sleep every night were able to decrease their overall caloric intake. They increased their overall caloric output. They changed their metabolic balance so that they were in a negative metabolic balance. And this is really important in the long term because that's what determines if you're able to maintain ongoing weight loss or maintain your weight once you have lost it. Fascinating study out of Finland on twins that looked just at dieting and how effective is dieting. Now, we know from last week, I talked a lot about it, dieting just doesn't work. But what we found with the twin study in Finland was even trying to diet just one time means that that twin is more likely to be overweight 10, 20 years later. So looking at sleep, the interesting thing about sleep is that if you are in a sleep deprived state, what happens is you tend to compensate for that by snacking and increasing your caloric input. Now, this doesn't mean that your caloric output has changed. In fact, your resting metabolic rate is impacted by your sleep and the quality of your sleep. So if you can improve the quality of your sleep, increase the amount of sleep you get up to a level of 7 or 8 hours a night, you can have an impact probably on your total caloric balance without making any other intentional changes. Now, I talk a lot about changes in your exercise level, your activity level. I talk about changes in portion control, most importantly. But if you want to start a process that avoids all of that, but still may result in some weight loss and changes in your caloric output, what I recommend is that you start with sleep hygiene. What is sleep hygiene? There are steps that you can take that will increase the likelihood that you are going to have adequate sleep. The bed should be solely for sex or sleep. You shouldn't read in bed. You shouldn't watch television in bed. In fact, you shouldn't have any screens at all in your bedroom. No TV, no computer. and even artificial lighting like lit alarm clocks and those kind of things. If you can set them up so they have a dim setting, those, particularly the blue lights, have been shown to have a significant negative impact on people's ability to sleep soundly through the night for an adequate number of 6-7 hours or so. So what I would like to also touch base is about caffeine. I like caffeine. I'm a coffee drinker. And there we go. Sorry about that. It's important to understand that caffeine is a stimulant, and intake of caffeine can have a negative impact on your overall ability to sleep through the night, cause more fitful sleep, overall a lower amount of sleep. And, it's kind of funny that I'm even talking about this because through my life, I have been in a number of different occupational settings where just couldn't get a regular night's sleep every night of the week. And doing night call when I was in the Navy, working as a surgical resident, working as a solo private practice surgeon, my sleep was completely and totally unpredictable. But I can tell you from my own standpoint that when I'm well rested, it's a lot easier for me to maintain a lean diet, maintain my exercise pattern, and to pursue a more healthy lifestyle. So as far as caffeine goes, I'm not going to assault anybody's cup of coffee in the morning, or even if you need another one to get going before noon, but really need to eliminate caffeine after noon because caffeine is a stimulant. It does stay in your bloodstream for a while and can interfere a normal, healthy sleep pattern. The other thing is looking at what your sleeping environment is like. If you're a person who needs some white sound to sleep, you can do that. Earplugs can also work if you're in an environment where there's a significant amount of noise. They're actually not that uncomfortable. But I think if you look at caffeine, if you look at trying to get the sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning when you wake up, that broad spectrum white light that comes from the sun is shown to have an impact on seasonal affective disorder and your overall diurnal rhythm. So getting the sun in your eyes first thing you wake up, finishing your caffeine before 12 noon, and then striving to have a regular bedtime, whether it's 10, 11, 9, I don't care when it is. But if you can ensure that it's a regular time, that your body is kind of programmed and you have some rituals that you go through, whether it's brushing your teeth, whether it's walking around checking the doors to make sure they're locked or taking out the trash. I don't really care what it is. But if it's something that kind of signals your body that this is the process, you go to the bedroom, the bed's a place where you only have sex or sleep, you don't read, you don't watch TV, you don't have screens in your bedroom. These sleep hygiene steps can help you achieve that increased level of sleep that is clearly demonstrated through research that I put on my Twitter feed to increase the likelihood that you can be lean and maintain a regular exercise program, weight loss, those kind of things. So I don't really have too much else to say about that, but I did want to kind of get on the regular routine live streams. I'm hoping to solicit some more of my followers and the people that are subscribed to my YouTube channel and subscribe or follow my Instagram feed. I hope you'll like and forward these videos to anybody you think they might be of benefit to. And I'm going to talk more next week on Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific about the dietary aspects of the Get Fit and Be Lean program, which I'll be laying out this week, kind of what I eat on a daily basis and what are the principles of the program that I find to be not terribly restrictive, but enough of a limitation on my caloric intake that it achieves the goals that I want. And I hope that you'll join me And I hope that if you have any questions about any of these, that you'll make a comment or tweet or follow my YouTube and make a comment on one of my videos. And that'll help me know where people are interacting with my information and what's the best way to get back to them and answer. I may post a video specifically about your question if it falls into the topics that I cover. And I really appreciate anybody who came out tonight, and I hope to see you next week.